Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with another Into the Emerald Dream card review, and we have the second ever in Hearthstone history, at least for all classes, neutral spell, and it is insanely cool. I think it's one of the most thematic, amazing spells we've ever had. It's really awesome. We're going to take a look at it. It's a throwback to literally the beginning of Hearthstone. So yeah, we'll take a look at that card. If you want to win this card or any of the other cards from Into the Emerald Dream, we're giving away 2 regular pre-orders, 1 mega bundle out of my pocket to enter that giveaway. Like and comment in the video link description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Every 1,000 subs until all the cards are revealed, and we're ending it. We're revealing the last cards here. I will add another mega bundle. We are super close, less than 100 away. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. And there's no limit. The second we hit that next 1,000, restart, and yeah, there's more mega bundles to be had. So yes, what spell are we talking about here? Well, it is the 7 mana Shaladrassel or Drassel. I know I'm butchering this like so bad. 7 mana Shaladrassel nature spell. So this is also the first ever neutral nature spell. Get all 5 dream cards. If you've played a higher cost card while holding this, corrupt them. So we're turning our dream into a nightmare, right? So that's thematic. If you're not aware of what the dream cards are, they're from like the original Ysera or the one that they made later that adds like all of them to your hand. Basically, you have the 0 mana. They've all been reverted since they were changed at one point. They've all been reverted. Got the 0 mana, like return a minion to the player's hand. So like, could be like a Shadow Step, a Sap, whatever. You've got like Awakens, which like nukes the board, except for Ysera. That's a key thing there. Laughing Sister, the really annoying one to get, the 3/5 untargetable. You got like the Emerald Drake or the 4 mana 7/6 dragon, and you got like Nightmare, the buff, right? So what happens to all of those spells? What happens to them when they get corrupted? So to corrupt the Shaladrassel or whatever it's called, you have to play a card that costs more than this. So if it's 7, you got to play an 8-drop, a 9-drop, a 10-drop, whatever. It's the old corrupt mechanic from Dark Moon Fair. If this is discounted, like it's 1 mana for some reason, and you play a 2-cost card, that also works. So what are the corrupted versions? And they're insane. They're actually insane. First Nightmare becomes the corrupted Nightmare. Also 0 mana, shadow spell. You give a minion +5/+5 and immune. So it can like trade in, get a nice, value trade, whatever, right? It can't be targeted, but it's only this turn. It's not a permanent effect. Not too big an enhancement to corrupting it, but can be quite nice. We have the Corrupted Dream, which you could argue could be worse in situations. 0 mana, shuffle a minion into its owner's deck. So instead of adding it to their hand, it goes into their deck, which is, I would say, most likely better if you're doing it to your opponent, because then they, their draws are worse and then they get that card back. Although, depending on what it is, you might not want to give them it back, right? But for you, I feel like it's almost worse because it's better to have it in your hand right away, right? So there's some good stuff with it and some bad stuff with it with this card. However, Laughing Sister is a little bit better now. It's probably one of the better ones here with the Corrupted Laughing Sister, a 2 mana 6/10 with elusive. Your hero is elusive. That's right. I don't know. Have we had an effect that we've had effects that make you elusive. The Spellword Jeweler, if it was called, or Kobold Monk, or as examples. But yes, your hero's elusive as long as this is alive. So they gotta kill this or else they can't target your hero with hero powers or spells. You're not immune, you're elusive. So that's a big ass body that's elusive and can give you some defense. So that is pretty darn cool. My favorite of the bunch is Corrupted Awakening. Deal 5 damage to all enemies. So this one doesn't hit. I think the original Awakening did like hit everything. This is only enemies, and it says especially Ysera. And I have asked the devs what that means. If Ysera gets hit by this, Ysera's gone. It auto nukes any Ysera. So the immunity from the regular Awakening, it's the opposite. Yeah, doesn't matter how much health Ysera has, it will blow up. And then lastly, our 7/6 Drake, or Emerald Drake, or whatever, I don't have the name of it in front of me. You've seen it on the screen. Turns into a 14, a 4 mana 1412 dragon. That is one large dragon. It doesn't do anything other than that, but it is one crazy large card. So these corrupted dreams and all that, they're pretty crazy, right? Like you get a ton of value for 7 mana. Whether you corrupt it or not, you get a ton of value. Like, yeah, you don't get the 4/12 dragon that would add these cards to your hand, but that's not something to totally scoff at. You get AoE, you get a threat, you get all this stuff, and yeah, that's without being corrupted, right? You corrupt this, all of a sudden, neutral wise, I have hard removal, I have a buff, I have a good AoE that only goes face. It also goes face, so I could like amplify it with spell damage and do some really good stuff. Yeah, like it's a really solid card. I don't know what this slots into, like in particular, but I just can't imagine a card with, wait, am I falling for the usual Zeddy trap of value good in today's Hearthstone? But it is value that can go face, that can remove stuff, that can generate stuff. The issue is, in today's Hearthstone, do you have the room for it in your hand, right? Like so many decks have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Like it's hard to get that full value, and how good is that, right? So this will be an interesting one to see how it plays out. I could see it being good enough without corrupting it, and clearly insane after you corrupt it, and be really flexible. And I'll just say, like the reworked Ysera that came into the core set later is like a menace in Twist, where you get all the unnerfed dream cards, and that doesn't even talk about the fact that you get all these corrupted. Could be pretty crazy, right? So especially with those wild gods, they all seem to be pretty expensive. You play any of those wild gods, you're corrupting this probably, unless I guess it's 7 mana or whatever. So there's a lot of potential for this card. I think it's a really cool, well-designed card in Arena. Like auto pick, this is so freaking amazing in Arena. And in Ladder, yeah, it might have a shot, right? It's just, again, hand size, and do you really have to corrupt it? That can make things awkward because, again, it's relatively slow in that regard. But you can play it and immediately play like a 0 mana card right away. So you can, you know, utilize that too. So I'll give it a 3 to 5 in Standard. I think this actually could see play, and it's a really well-designed, kind of cool card. In Wild, I don't know about that. You can play this in like Alignment Druid. It's a nature spell. Play like Lady Anacondra. It's 0 mana after that, right? So I don't know, maybe a Alignment Druid or Nature Druid or something like that. It's got a shot. No, it doesn't have a shot. I don't think so. I'll give it a 2 for a while, but again, I think this is one of the coolest cards they made in a while, and I kind of wish we had some like B-roll to show what it looks like, but I don't, so we'll have to wait. Oh yeah, and it's got an amazing signature too. There is a signature for this one that hopefully you'll be able to open up in a relatively okay fashion, but that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, really nice signature as well. So there you go. One card, but it was a lot of cards in one. It definitely warranted. We have a bunch more reviews during today. I think there's 3 separate reveal sessions. I might merge one with the other, but we might do 3. I don't know. I'm crazy. We might just do 4 because I have no idea. Anyway, stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.